I think when I think about year 2, I tend to see it as like how much we've grown throughout that span of the year. Because when we first started out, I don't think we had the vision that we have right now. I think that we had different goals last year and what to expect and everything. And I think that if past us were to see us where we're at now, I don't think we would have pictured it. One example would basically be that, I don't think we ever would have thought to put skits in front of every single podcast episode. And we did about 40 skits over the past year. We started out with issue 111 when Rene came back from COVID. And that was kind of the start of everything, of kind of like going through that idea of putting something at the beginning that would spark interest to continue watching the show. But I feel like issue 115 was when we really started to bring our creative juices together and really kind of going the extra mile with that creativity, because that was the first time that we did something mimicking something that we all really liked, which was the anime skit. And the editing was pretty creative. The ideas which Nick and Rene both thought of were just amazing. And it really brought together kind of like this aspect of all of us kind of working together on this stuff, and really highlights what we can do together as a team. With that kind of mentality, we then brought guests like we did last year with issues 122, 23, 24, and 25 with Lewis, Brittany, Rainwater, and Sarah. And that really challenged us a lot, because that was the first time that we really had to make a short skit with all the guests and kind of show them pretty much like what we're capable of doing, and making them feel comfortable being a part of something that we've been doing for a couple months now already. From there, I think the highlight of this year's skit for me was the John Wick one, where Nick and I were basically just gunfighting throughout the whole thing. And it doesn't have any effects or anything, but I think that the cuts and how we went about it was just so funny, because it was kind of our first try at something action-esque. And it was just a fun one to kind of put together and edit. So that one was really great. So when it comes down to it, what is there to look for year 3? There's a lot. And I think that for me personally, I've learned to not predict and put myself in a situation where I say like, this is what we're aiming for, this is what we want to see. Because year 2 was brought a lot of different surprises. I don't think we really expected to be in the position that we are now. And if we want to end on a positive note, I think year 3 will bring a lot more excitement, a lot more creativity, a lot of new stuff. So I'm pretty excited to start soon.
Recording at 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California, at Undercity Comics. Keep It Up with the Nerds presents issue 148. I'm Rene. I'm looking at Bryan. Go ahead.
This is Bryan.
And welcome to the show, everyone. I completely.
What in the world was that?
We didn't talk about the issue before.
Oh my God.
Here was the thing. There was
definitely a delay.
There was a 20% chance, I think, of you trying to figure out the number, because it was like it has to be between issues 145 and 149.
We were talking about it earlier.
So it was like what, a 23% chance, 25% chance somewhere that you could have given the wrong number.
I was gonna say 149 because we did talk about 149.
That's right.
Earlier.
Yeah. I don't know why in my head I was also thinking about 149 and 147.
I was thinking about 149 in my head. Yeah.
148.
148.
2 issues plus an annual away from the big 150.
Some people call that 3.
Go check out our website at keepingupwiththenerds.com. Check out our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel if you have not done so. And go subscribe to see our beautiful faces for this show. Because we do a lot of visual gags, courtesy of Rene and sometimes Nick with his snack opening gimmicks and stuff. You also get to see my frustrated face when Nick doesn't know when to shut up. And go, subscribe to our audio platforms as well. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Don't forget to rate the show 5 stars if you like what you heard here. And if you don't like it and don't want to rate it, then don't.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
I always know that technically it has been 26 episodes since Lewis was last on. And I only know that because this is staked.
A little behind the scenes kind of thing. So
I was staring at it right now, and I'm like,
I bought this. Ooh, I hit my head. I bought this little clapper thing, because Bryan said we needed one. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll get a dry erase one. So we did.
I don't know what moron did it with Sharpie.
No. It is
not
this is
Sharpie.
No, this is from.
Oh, we left it over
left
the
it-
week.
yeah,
so
we
we left it overnight.
We left it overnight, and then we came back a week later, and it was just not.
It doesn't come off
This is
anymore.
legit dry erase, but I think we used the cheap one that came with it.
Yeah, we used the
Yeah.
cheap marker.
Usually we use the Expo ones, that
It just comes
Susan
right
has. And then it's not coming out.
We tried using alcohol. We tried doing everything.
Yeah.
The thing's done.
We tried using Tito's.
Dude, I literally
That's right, vodka.
we put hand sanitizer on it. We did all the tricks.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So every single time I look at it, I'm like, oh, it's been 26 episodes since I've seen this.
Oh man! All right. So for people that are interested in knowing what we're going to be talking about here on the show, there's going to be some comic strips.
Yes.
There's going to be some wrestling talk. We're back at it again.
Yeah. This is like a very mixed bag.
Yeah, and actually, a little quick update. So Rene and I have been talking about it. There is a crowd that wants us to talk about wrestling, and we kind of want to separate it from the show because I feel like you and I can actually go off pretty well. But here's the thing. I don't like just making things. I want to make it unique and special and,
Difficult. Yeah.
yeah, sure. So there is something that's in the works.
Yeah.
Hopefully for year 3,
You want to make
it'll
it
happen.
unique, but you want to copy a format from someone else.
That's how it's done. Nick.
So
I don't know what to tell you.
that's how the greatest shows come
I'm
out.
just because from our production meeting, you said I want to do this way. Now you're going, it's unique.
Nick knows how to humble people down,
He
but sometimes
really
he
does.
doesn't know
He
how
really
to humble.
does.
Yeah, but here's the thing: sometimes
really
it's not
does.
humbling; it's just he wants to tear the whole thing down.
Yeah.
It's just you're destructive. That's what you are, Nick.
My motto is light a match.
Sure. Anyways,
Just
pray it doesn't blow up.
Just light a match. Light a match and just leave it there. Let's see what happens.
Let's see where it goes.
See where it goes.
Wrestling, and we're going to be talking about the writer's strike again,
Yes.
more in detail because you had a listener that didn't know much about it
Yes.
or didn't know that it was going on. So we're actually going to be expanding more on it, giving a little more details and expanding on it because it is something that we are definitely interested in.
Yeah.
Well, it's also
Definitely do support.
it's halted a lot of productions of stuff that we like talking
So it's
about.
affecting our content.
Yeah, it really is.
Not
So-
the writer's strike, but the people that aren't giving into the demands of the writers. They are affecting our content. So now we're joining the strike for that reason.
Are we joining the strike?
Are you gonna,
How would we join the strike?
we have to go to the picket line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we'll talk
I'm
more.
striking you, Brian. I'm on strike. I'm on strike because of you.
You go to
I'm
the
not writing
you go
anymore.
to the picket line. We hate Bryan. We
Can you imagine that actually picks up? Like,
That would be hilarious. You know what? I want to do it now.
Oh my god.
for some reason, they said they just didn't like Brian Cavetto. That's one of their demands. Don't have Brian Cavetto.
Don't
in the
put-
writers meeting. Like,
Don't have
Cancel
him anywhere.
Brian. Cancel
For
Brian.
what, dude?
Huh?
For what?
I'll pick a reason.
Oh my god. How have you guys been weeks been?
it's been okay.
Yeah.
It's been long.
Oh, actually, if you guys are watching the YouTube, you notice that we all have the Green Lantern Corps rings.
What's the motto, Brian? I told it to you earlier.
I like
See if you
how
remember.
he's gonna put you on the spot right now. Didn't remember.
We told it to you.
In brightest days and darkest nights, no evil
I'm not.
shall escape my sight.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up. Dang it! Why do I know that? Oh my god, dude! Why do you want to put me on the spot?
Because this is funny.
It's fun.
Why,
It is
dude?
kind of funny.
I don't know the rest of it.
Because beware my power, Green Lantern's might.
And it's blackest
like-
night. Blackest night.
Blackest night.
Yeah.
Okay, so I passed with the D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you an L for lantern.
The reason why we have these
Dumb.
rings is because this week, Greenland. Well, upon recording this week, Green Lantern issue 1 has released for DC Comics. And whenever a new issue of Green Lantern comes out, they always have promotional rings. So we were able to grab one each. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Susan.
Understood Comics.
Thanks, Nick, for embarrassing me. You just made it easy for certain people to come after me now.
Oh, I know. I'm expecting people to walk up to you and go, nerd card. Right there. Come on.
Dude, I'm
Hole punch it.
No.
That's a
I
strike.
might not be for what?
It's a strike.
For what?
You don't know the Lantern Core Oath? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, but I know other stuff that you don't know. So,
Like what?
dude,
Klingon?
literally.
Can I speak Klingon?
Here's the thing, Nick. I'm
No,
gonna call you out on something. All right. Here's the thing. When you don't know something about nerdy stuff, you tend to start attacking people.
I do.
Yeah.
That's my default.
Yeah, that's your default. You just go on the attack.
Exactly.
So you shut up. All right.
Sorry.
Because that's what ends up happening when I start talking Star Trek. You go, no one cares about it. No one does. No, people do care about it.
Who?
People.
Like who?
The people.
The people, dude.
of the world.
Just
can't
shut
just
up.
make-
Just
you
shut
can't
up.
just
Just
make people
shut
up.
up. Just shut up. Just shut up.
I know you turned on
Just
Star
shut.
Trek a million times, a million different TVs.
All around the world. How's the prank war going, Nick?
It's actually not bad.
Yeah, update on that because we didn't talk about it last week.
We didn't talk about it
Yeah,
last
we
week.
didn't need to know about it.
So I,
Was it relevant?
I've subdued him into a lull. I've brought him on to my team because he now knows if he helps me, I won't prank him. So now we're pranking someone else at the work.
Oh my god! You passed on the curse.
Yes. So like today, a lot of like our administration, they all went to the Laker game. All together, they went to
Nothing like pranking your boss.
Yeah,
it's always good.
No, it wasn't our boss. It was one of the security guards. So then what we did is he walked over and he was like, I don't have any Post-it notes. Like we gotta put Post-it notes on his car. And I was like, no, I'm just gonna draw something on his car. So I drew a very fun thing. I can't talk about it, but let's just say it was veiny.
Wait,
My
did you
right
like?
forearm.
Okay, to clarify for the listeners or watchers, how did you draw? Did you draw it exactly on his car, or did you get something to draw and then stick it on his car?
No. I drew it in the dirt in his window.
Oh, okay.
Because it's genius. Because the thing is that it's in a dark alley, or it's in a dark parking lot. So when he gets back, he's not gonna see it, and he's gonna get in his car. He's gonna drive away,
Is this
and it's gonna be about a week until he sees it.
is this drawing also show completion?
Yes,
You know what? I feel like Nick
he's not gonna see it for at least
doesn't
a
just
weekend.
read comic books, he lives them. Because the more I think about his stories of like how he, abuses people.
That's not
No, it's abuse at this point. Here's the thing.
No.
No, it is abuse, okay? So the more I think about it, right? The
Yeah.
more you can start to draw parallels to how the Joker has tried to persuade people to join him, or how Sidious has tried to persuade
Yeah.
others.
Listen,
and
it just takes
Anakin.
one bad day.
No. Like, yeah, exactly. No, think about it, right?
Right.
And if I
Just
can assure
telling
you,
the guy.
I can assure you. You know what scene came to mind?
Yeah.
When the Joker beats up
Jason
what is it?
Todd?
Yeah. I feel like that's Nick. Is that if you don't comply, he'll just beat you until like there's nothing left. That's kind of how
that
you've
right?
been. Yeah.
If you fight back, you're just gonna.
Yeah, exactly.
Tired.
That's like you.
Just gonna go down tired. Listen, it's not abuse. It's just a funny prank. It's just a fun prank. war.
That's something that the Joker would say.
What?
Dude, I didn't kill a ton of people in a hospital.
That's
It
extreme.
was a message.
That's extreme.
Well, I
was
don't
a
think it's extreme.
prank.
It was a prank.
Probably
dude.
funny
It's a
prank.
joke. No.
It doesn't
You're the
destroy
Joker of the
It doesn't
group now.
destroy anything. Literally, all you gotta do is just take your hand and go.
You
it
make
goes away.
people.
But
There's no
insane.
permanent
you just
damage.
but
Yet.
you just won't see it. The greatest
Where
time.
do you draw your jokes? That's where I want to know.
On
Like,
a
where
car.
Do you
Definitely
where
on
do
a
you draw
car
the
window.
line? That's
Definitely on a
I
car
want to know
window.
where the line gets drawn. Where you say like, you know what?
Where does
this
it
is
get
where
drawn?
Yeah, I don't think you've reached your limit
Destruction. Destruction.
yet. I don't know,
Destruction
dude.
or harm.
Of what?
Like
Materialistic stuff or a person's mind?
both. It has to.
No, not both, because you made one of your coworkers insane.
Yeah,
That's true.
But that's a psyche. You could fix that.
Therapy.
Yeah.
They got a
Therapy.
good
Make
insurance.
cost money.
Yeah, if they got good insurance, they can get it.
Point
good
being, I
therapy.
think Nick
He
is
works for the
Joker.
district. He
Look,
can get good.
man.
He can get a good therapist.
Okay,
It's fully
yeah.
paid.
Dude,
And-
full ride.
Listen, it's not that I didn't start this. I just want to remind everyone.
It isn't my fault that the prank wars are happening.
Mm-hmm.
I just came about it.
That's exactly what the Joker's mentality.
Thank you.
is.
See,
Yeah.
dude.
It all started when you put on that mask.
You happy, dude? You happy? You're the villain here. You're the
Why
villain.
am I the villain?
Because look at the way you're acting, dude.
If anything, I'm just winning a prank war. Why can't you just
Comic
be
strips.
excited? Why can't you be excited for me winning a prank war?
Because you're the type of person. Look, man, the people that will agree with you, right? People are loving this. They're loving this, right? If they're listening to Nick's little prank war segments, they're loving it. But here's the thing. The people that like you, right, and that will idolize you are the same people that believe that Harley Quinn and the Joker are a perfect match.
Oh, God.
Are you happy with that? You're the villain here, Nick. All right? I don't think there's a line that you've discovered yet. Someday you will.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Someday you're gonna be. Someday he's gonna be walking down the street, right, in the rain, and the puddle will be forming right in front of him. And then he looks down in the puddle and sees a reflection of himself, and he realizes, "My God, this is who I truly am." And then a maniacal laugh happens as he stares into the sky. Lightning strikes, and that's when he realizes that his true calling was to be destructive Nick.
You're next. You want a piece of this? I'll give it to you.
The way that Nick and the story when it finishes, it'll finish just like in Endgame.
I will literally drive.
Is it
you
Endgame
insane.
when Batman and Joker both die? It's an Endgame,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Endgame before Endgame?
Yeah.
They
The
stole
end game
title.
before the end.
Stole the title. No, I don't see myself as the villain. I see myself as the hero.
I know that's what a lot of villains say. The villains don't see themselves as villains. I mean, the high. What is it? The High Evolutionary said in Guardians 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm not a conqueror.
He's not a conqueror. He's
Yeah.
just trying to make the universe better.
Yeah.
You're not. I can't. I can't, dude. That's okay, Nick. You played yourself into this one. You're the villain.
I didn't do anything. They started it against me. I'm defending myself.
I'm gonna run for mayor and I'm gonna make Gotham better.
I am. I'm Harvey Dent. I believe in Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
So when do you put acid on your face and just start melting off and become Two-Face, dude?
No, the thing is,
Who do you want to be, Two-Face or Joker?
See, the thing is that it's not that the acid has to hit though. You are Harvey Dent, no matter what.
I'm not.
You're definitely.
I'm not Harvey Dent.
Oh my! No, you're Jekyll and Hyde.
How?
I feel like I don't need to explain that.
There's no explanation, Nick.
The
Listen.
evidence is here.
Yeah. Have you seen the show?
Yeah.
You are definitely Jekyll and Hyde.
How?
You'll be calm and then out of nowhere, no! Stop!
Yeah.
That's Jekyll and Hyde
I'm like
behavior.
Batman Year One.
No, that's Jekyll and Hyde
Unhinged
behavior.
sometimes
You
because
are
the Joker bugs me.
You are. That's not Batman. No. 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 No.
You see, I've cracked
No.
Nick, dude. I've cracked him. I've
You
cracked
can't.
him.
No. You're Jekyll
He's
and
broken.
Hyde.
Nick can bleed.
You are Bruce. You are Bruce Banner and the Hulk.
They say Brock
if-
Lesnar can't bleed. Cody Rhodes proved that wrong.
Oh, that's true. I'm back.
Yeah, and now Nick Valero says he can't be bothered. He's now bothered. Comic strips!
Comic strips.
Moving on. If you guys are new to the show
Oh,
and
yeah.
don't know what comic strips are.
It's a good callback to an old segment.
Yeah, there you go.
Brian's Bothers. That's funny. I just got it.
Oh my god. Comic
I
strips
was
is
like,
the segment
what?
of the show where we talk about topics that don't merit a 5 to 10 minute conversation and hope to God that Nick doesn't tangent because, you know, that's what he usually does on every other issue. Oh, so you're pulling the mic away. Don't flip off, dude. Relax. People, it's an angled camera angle, dude. Oh my god.
Moving
Nick.
on.
Moving on.
Are you gonna blur it?
No. Because I don't think YouTube gets affected by that.
No, it's just words.
Yeah, it's just words. Don't you do it. Don't.
Nuts.
Behave yourself. Where do I start? Let's see.
Bottom of the page.
So, actually, you sent this.
Yes.
Shut up, dude.
That was such a delay. Like,
Starting off with something that you sent us in the chat.
I thought you were gonna move on, and you just like you had to mention something.
Listen, I gotta acknowledge some of the stupid things he says. I'm sorry if I mispronounced this. Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren, yeah.
So
it's
he.
Lundgren. It's Lundgren.
Lundgren.
He confirms in an interview that him and Stallone almost got in a physical fight.
Yes.
On the set of the first Expendables.
Expendables, not expandables.
Expendables.
Expandables is what happened to their
Shut
waistline.
up! God, Nick. You're already tangenting.
I'm not tangenting. You said expandables.
Expendables.
Yes.
I thought he said Expendables.
He said expandables.
Was okay? Well,
You're
the listeners will know.
I did say Expendables.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my bad. It's Expendables.
That's their waistline.
Certain ones, not all of them. But they almost got physical on the set of the first Expendables.
Yes.
And I kept reading the article a little bit more. In this little interview, he basically said that the reason that there was a lot of frustration between him and Stallone, Stallone directed this film, if you guys didn't know, was because there were certain parts where Stallone kept making him retake certain shots.
Yeah, it didn't feel right to Stallone at least.
Yeah.
And Dolph thought he was at least putting in some good job into the takes that he was doing. They were doing like over 15 takes apparently, and Stallone just kept getting more aggravated every single take to the point where they stopped and Stallone had to literally yell at him in front of production and in front of apparently reporters, because it was international reporters.
Were there?
Yeah, were there. And they were witnessing basically Stallone talking down on Dolph Lundgren.
I think there was a quote there that said that Stallone said that his grandmother can do better or something like that.
Yeah, he said my grandmother can act better than what you're doing, which is, it's funny because it literally reminded me of us when when we're recording or when we're about to do something. We can literally yell at each other, and then even throughout the day, like we could get to that point where we do say something aggravating that it does affect one of us, but then at the end of the day, Stallone basically apologized, after they were all done and stuff like that.
I've never apologized.
Because you don't ever want to apologize.
I meant every word. No, I haven't.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
that's what I thought.
No, I know.
Because that doesn't just apply to me. You said stuff to him too.
I know. I was about to say. I was like, no, wait. I didn't mean anything towards Rene. I meant everything towards Bryan.
It's like
Asterisk.
Yeah.
roll back the footage. Just kidding.
I like Rene.
Everyone likes me.
It's true. He's cuddly.
It's fine. I don't need to be liked. I don't need to be loved.
You don't go to dinner with
No,
us.
but we love you.
Thank you. No, you love me.
I do.
This guy doesn't.
You don't go to
I
dinner
love
with us.
When? When have I? When have I had the chance? We can go out today.
No.
Can't
You
we?
missed your chance. We went to Jack's.
Oh yeah. What was I doing?
Sitting at home alone.
No.
Oh, no, you were okay. We went to Jack's. It was on Free Comic Book Day. That's the last time we went.
No, that was also. We also went out.
That
to
was
dinner
when we
before
were
the
going to go
movie.
see Guardians.
Oh no,
Remember
we
we
went
went
to
out-
Norm's. Didn't
Yeah,
we?
we went to Norm's before.
We went to
the
Norm's before.
I don't remember.
Sorry, this is
No,
a side
it's a
conversation,
see,
guys.
you
Yeah.
tangented us, dude. Oh my god,
This
dude.
is a personal conversation.
An
honestly.
example of how Nick tangents the segment. There you go.
You're welcome.
In the interview, he also said that this wasn't the first time that Dolph has injured Stallone physically.
Oh yeah,
Apparently
it
in
was for
Rocky
Rocky
IV.
Ford. Yeah, they got into a same kind of tiff, and when it came to the fight, Dolph didn't hold back in some of the punches that he was doing.
Knocked him out. Then he had to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
So that's a fun little
But
tidbit there.
I can kind of see that because I do know that for Expendables, a lot of those guys thought that it was just kind of like a B movie. They didn't really care.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like
yeah.
all the greatest action stars in one movie for like one last round, and they were all kind of they're all old, dude.
Yeah.
They're all
Yeah, a
old.
bunch of testosterone flowing in that production. Like
There were a couple
and-
women in there too, no?
No.
not
the first
not in
one.
the
Not in
first
the
one.
first one, it was in the second one?
Second one.
Well, there was a woman, but she was the love interest.
I don't know if I've never really had an interest in watching any of those expendable movies.
They're
cool.
They're okay. So the first one's fun.
It's not
And-
great though.
Yeah, it's not great. It's what you expected with a star action cast
Yeah.
movie to be.
Yeah.
The action is good, but the story is lacking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the story because it's Sylvester Stallone wrote it and stuff, and he
I mean,
directed
he
it.
wrote Rocky, and the first Rocky was pretty
Well,
good.
I get that, but then also he wrote this one for a paycheck.
Yeah,
True. Okay. Moving on. In
they're
actor
all on
news.
HBO Max if you want to watch them.
Are
all
they
three
really?
of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all
Dope.
on HBO Max.
Oh, a fourth one is coming out this year.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to actor news, Jamie Foxx is supposedly doing okay. I didn't know
Yeah.
about this, but apparently he was hospitalized. I didn't know
Yes.
that he had he was not in the best of shape.
Yeah, he was a history of high blood pressure apparently.
So I didn't know that, but the reason I found out that he has been out of the hospital, I didn't even know he was in it.
Yeah, no, I just saw that too.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
His daughter has confirmed that he hasn't been in the hospital for the past couple of weeks, that these reports have been lies, and that he's in really good condition, recovering from whatever it was that he was having, to the point that he was playing pickleball.
Yeah, was playing pickleball yesterday.
Yeah,
I saw
that's
that. Yeah.
I like how she
Which
had
I
that
don't,
part.
I don't know what pickleball is, but it sounds like a hoot and a half.
Nick, do you know what pickleball is? Seems like something you would play.
I have a pickle.
And he has a
have
ball.
a pickle.
I don't know.
I have a pickle.
Honestly, I don't. I think it's. I feel like pickleball is probably when you throw the ball at the wall and then you have to like bounce it back and forth.
I
But
was expecting you to make a
Just
joke.
yell
Like,
it
he
out,
was
pickle.
like, oh. It was like
No, literally. Actually,
he
no,
plays
look at
pickleball
pickleball.
with a pickle and 2 balls.
Pickle.
that's easy. That's not. There's nothing
Look, man, sometimes you
romantic
just
about that.
What is romantic? What does romanticism have to do with the joke, dude?
Because
Apparently, there's a paddle involved.
It's like tennis.
It's like tennis, but
Is
It's
it
like-
British tennis?
pickleball is an indoor-outdoor racket/paddle sport where 2 players or 4 players hit a perforated hollow plastic ball over 36-inch high. Oh, perforated. Sorry, 36-inch high net using solid face paddles. Opponents of either side of the net hit the ball back and forth until one side
So
commits a
it's-
rule infraction.
So it's
Oh, so
cheap
it's-
man's tennis.
It's
No, it's a ping pong and tennis mixed.
Oh, so it's like a life scale ping pong.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like full size ping pong.
That's a cool fact I didn't need to know. Moving on.
This was first played in Bryan Bridge Island, Washington in 1965.
Do we really need to talk about pickleball and when it was created?
Yeah.
Keeping up with pickleball.
Yeah, right. We're not a sports podcast, okay?
How to score pickleball.
So why do we talk about wrestling?
Why don't we talk about
Basic
sports
pickleball
entertainment?
rules.
It's a difference. What, do we want to talk about cricket now? Is that what we're going to do?
I'm in.
No. God, no.
Let's go. God save
We're
the king.
Americans. We don't play cricket.
God save the king.
Moving on. Fast 10 releases next week. Definitely going to be talking about that. Probably in issue 149.
We're gonna talk about it at the end of this. We did say we were gonna talk about that.
True. But the review and our thoughts on it will be in issue 49. But today it has been confirmed that Vin Diesel is hinting that Fast 10 is the start of a final trilogy for the movie.
It's gonna go Fast 13
Dude.
or Fast 12.
No.
Fast
This
X3.
is Fast X1. Then
Yeah.
it's Fast X2 and then Fast X3. So this is technically the 10.1 version.
Wait,
So we're gonna get 10.2.
hold on. Is it so? Is that really what it's gonna? It's gonna be a
this is what
3-parter,
Vin
or
Diesel
is it?
has said. He said that that there might be 3 movies to this finale. I don't know, dude.
Dude, I went in for an interview. I went in for an interview for another position, and I didn't get it. And I realized I only have Fast and the Furious. And I've made a lot of poor financial decisions. So I need 3 more of these things.
My thing is this. It's like, how do you that's kind of dumb, right? I mean, look, I might be the only person here
Well, 'cause
that's
this-
going to
this was
defend Fast
promoted
and Furious.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I'm looking at this news and going like, so what? We get a 10.1, 10.2, and 10.3?
Yeah.
It feels like computer updates at this
No,
point.
but it doesn't make any sense because it's, oh yeah, this movie has been classified and marketed as the end of the road.
No, the beginning of the end
Yeah,
of the road.
that's the whole- yeah.
That's what it's been advertised as.
Oh, and then the X3 is gonna be all roads lead here. Like,
I hope it's a picture of a tree.
Stop, dude. Oh my god. What? So yeah, no, that's gonna be fun. Listen, there'll come a time where I just have to look at the Fast and Furious franchise and be like, dude, why?
Yeah.
I've been saying
why?
that for a while now.
I know you started with like Fast 7 probably.
No, it was Fast 9.
It was Fast 9?
Fast
Fast
9
9
is
your breaking point?
That
Okay.
was my breaking point because as soon as you have Tyrese going like, you guys ever wonder why we haven't died yet? Like I think we're immortal.
Yeah.
Like I think we're superheroes.
I think we
and
guys,
then,
I think we literally have plot armor.
Yeah.
Like,
and then a car falls on him, it explodes, and then he gets back up,
Yeah.
and then he's just like, "Whoa, that was weird, right?"
So what was your breaking point?
No, it was Fast 9. It was
Fast 9. So you guys
Yeah.
dropped off at Fast 9.
Fast
It
9
was-
just too
So I'm
crazy.
still on this ride.
Yeah.
To Fast 10.
Yeah,
I wanna
but
see
we have
Fast
to
10.
watch it because you want to watch it. You got to support your friends, regardless of the decisions that they make. You got
Thanks,
to make
Rene.
sure that
Whether-
Thank you. See?
you have their back along
See,
the way.
why can't you
know?
be this wholesome, dude? Why can't you not
Because
be
you know
this
why,
wholesome?
guys? They're family. You got to support family.
I dislike both of you.
Oh man. Fast 10.
Fast
Hell yeah,
10.
baby.
Because
Let's
no
watch
matter
it.
what, I'm not driving a car.
All right. Christopher McQuire, director for the new Mission Impossible movie. So he had a little interview, and he was saying that one of his first interactions, or one of his first, talks regarding this movie with Tom Cruise was, and this is how he quoted it. Apparently, Tom Cruise said, "I want to drive a motorcycle off a cliff. What do you want to do?"
I told you.
This is
I told
this was
you.
one of the first things that Tom Cruise
I know.
put forth
Yeah.
in the
but-
creation of this.
Okay, so when we were watching Guardians,
Yeah.
we saw the trailer, and then it shows Tom Cruise riding a motorcycle.
It's the final part, right?
Yeah, it's the final
Yeah.
part, and it shoots him off the cliff, and then he goes into a squirrel suit. And
No,
then
he doesn't do the squirrel suit. He literally
wearing a squirrel
He
suit.
is, but he's about to. It just doesn't
you
show
see
it.
you see him jump off of it, and then he's like his
No.
arms are coming down. Yes.
His arms are down, but he hasn't expanded them.
Okay, it doesn't matter. He's
He
in a
wants
squirrel
to
suit.
glide.
Yes, exactly.
Listen,
But
he's in a
we don't
squirrel
see
suit.
it yet because we know for a fact. Like, okay, listen, the way that trailer plays,
I understand
it's the last scene, right? So you know that is the big moment. This man has climbed buildings,
I know,
right?
but in the
This
movie-
man has stuck on the side of the plane.
Listen, I know
This
I've been
man has
interrupting
run
you all
across
day.
the roof and broken ankles.
Listen, but when that happened, I saw that scene, and I'm like, he actually did that.
Yeah.
Yes,
He
there's
probably
video of
actually
it.
did that because, and it's so nuts to go like. I mean, I've flown jets.
Wait, you haven't seen the behind the scenes of that one?
No, I haven't seen the. I've been.
Oh, there's the
I-
behind
I-
the scenes.
I'm trying to go as cold as possible into this movie
Yeah.
because it's just bananas. It's
That's
the
how
sa-
that's how each Mission Impossible movie is. It's
like
just
if you go into a mission, because the thing is that in a Mission Impossible trailer, they're pretty like you can tell what's going on. It's not
it's Mission Impossible.
it's Mission Impossible. I mean, you go in for the stunts, not really for the
The movie
story.
starts. Here's the mission. All of this stuff. This is the mission if you choose to accept.
Yeah,
And then the famous line of, "This message will self-destruct in 5
it's
seconds."
It's America's Bond.
It's interesting.
America's Bond.
It's interesting. He has a character that's from the first one in this one. And
Which
it's the hold on. It's let me look it up. It's okay. Do you guys remember the first Mission Impossible movie?
Yeah, where his
Yeah.
entire team dies
Yeah.
and everything else. Yeah.
So when after his team dies, he meets up with someone from MI or what is it from the agency at a restaurant. That's the when he has that gum and he throws it across
Yes.
Oh yeah.
the guy he sits down with. That actor is back in this one.
So what you're saying is that we have to watch all 8
I
Mission
think
Impossibles.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm just
no,
saying
because it's a callback to the original.
yeah.
Because it's supposed to be that the team leader.
Mission Impossible.
There is because
8
if
Mission
you haven't
Impossible
seen-
movies.
if you haven't
That's
seen-
another thing too.
If you haven't seen Mission Impossible, the ending of the first one is it was the team leader that betrayed everybody.
Yeah.
It was John Vought.
Who
Yeah.
would have thought?
Which also great actor. I wish we would see more of him.
Yeah.
But anyway, where did I go with that?
Where was I going? Yes, this guy. He's in the new one. Him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Voight is amazing, and also I didn't know that was
Finish your thought.
what's her name?
Angelina
Jolie's dad. I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Well, it's funny how certain actors will change their full name to make sure that they have their own little stake in Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly.
And not riding on coattails. That's
Yeah.
what is it? Emilio Estevez did that with
Yes.
Charlie Sheen and his father,
Michael Sheen.
Martin Sheen.
LeVar Burton's daughter, for the longest time, never said that she was LeVar Burton's daughter up until recently.
Yeah.
I think it was up until Star Wars Celebration last year. It's not Star Wars, Star Trek Celebration. She came out and said, like, yeah, LeVar Burton's my dad. And now she's one of the stars in the final season of Picard.
Dope.
Yeah. Mika
cir-
Burton. is her
Full
name.
circle on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, Carrie Ells is in here? Is in the new one?
So to finish off the quote real quick.
Sorry.
So that was one of the things that he said, is that he wanted to fly a motorcycle off a cliff. To which Christopher replied, because Tom Cruise then asked him, "What do you want to do?" He said, "I want to wreck a train." So
with Simon Pegg said, or
that's what Christopher McGuire said,
oh,
that he wants to wreck a train. So I don't know, because that scene isn't in the trailer, is it? There's a train scene,
Yeah.
but I don't think there's a train crashing in
so
the trailer.
how cool would it be if he jumps off of that cliff with a motorcycle
Onto the train,
and
it's not CG'd.
Running on the train.
and then he lands on. He's able to like land on the train. He's then running. And then he dislocates the train,
Yeah.
and then it crashes, and he survives.
Here's the thought that comes to my head every time I think about a Mission Impossible movie, right? Mission Impossible has some really great storylines.
Yeah.
Right?
Do they?
They do. No. For an action movie,
I
do.
watched them multiple times, and they're really fun to watch.
Yes.
Okay,
They're
fun to watch.
Yes.
Does
And
not
they
make
have-
them great movies. I
yes.
mean, does not make them
no.
compelling
They
movies.
have a good story.
Mm-hmm.
I would even say
2? You think 2 has a great
there's
story?
certain ones that don't fit.
No,
but
two,
listen,
2 and 3, 2 and 3
Ghost
are the
Protocol.
weakest ones.
Yes,
Ghost
2 and,
Protocol,
that's why
yeah.
I was saying like 2 and 3.
but don't tell me that Ghost Protocol.
No.
No, Ghost Protocol,
Ghost Protocol is
revamped
good.
it.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
But that's what I'm saying though. John Woo may have directed 2, but it feels like a John Woo movie.
That's fine.
It's very
that's
John
fine.
Woo,
It's very
yeah.
John
That's
Woo.
fine. But
Yeah.
listen,
It's like it's one thing away from I'm gonna take my face off.
point being,
That movie is Face Off 2.
every time I think about Mission Impossible, I can't wait to have a kid to then have them experience the same experience that I had when my dad first showed me the Mission Impossible movies.
I'm going
Which
to
is
show
like,
my
this
kid,
man's crazy.
I'm going to show my kid Mission Impossible 2, and then I'm going to show him Face
Why
Off,
would you do that, dude?
And then I'm going to
My
go,
dad even started me with Mission Impossible 1.
I know, but I'm going to show him. I'm going to show them Mission
You
Impossible
are a
2,
villain.
and then go, is this the same movie?
You are a villain, dude.
Why?
You are a villain. You're starting off with Mission Impossible 2?
No.
That's what you just said.
I said I would show them.
No.
I never said I would start them
then
off.
where would you start them off with?
For that?
Yes. One.
Goldfinger.
What?
So that way they can get into spy movies.
Okay. So the director, starting from Rogue Nation,
Hate you.
I know you do.
Christopher McGuire,
Yeah.
has been directing the movies ever since.
Yes.
And he's continuing on with this new one and part 2 of Day of Reckoning.
Yes.
So is it? I forget the order of the new ones. It's not Ghost Protocol.
So
it's
it's
Rogue
no-
Nation.
No, it's Ghost Protocol, but that was directed by Brad Bird.
Okay.
Yes.
But
And then it's-
when they started bringing in the Apostles, that was in Rogue Nation.
Okay, and
so it's
then
Rogue Nation, Fallout.
Yeah, Fallout. So technically, you really just need to watch Rogue Nation, and then moving forward from there, Fallout.
No, because even in 3, that's where they start bringing in his wife, because his wife is back in this one.
Yeah, but you really, that's like a little subplot. You
and
don't
doesn't
really know.
Ghost Protocol have Rogue Nation? Doesn't Rogue Nation bring back the wife? Or is that
She-
Fallout?
No, Ghost Protocol is
Go-
more of
Rogue Nation does, because they say that they know where she is,
Yeah.
because she's a doctor without borders.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
then
Fallout.
That's
That's
Oh,
with
that
Henry
is
Cavill.
That is
Yeah.
Fallout. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
she's not mentioned in Rogue Nation. Honestly, to be fair, she's mentioned what we find out what happens to her in Ghost Protocol, where Jeremy Renner believes that she was killed, but really Ethan disguised it as keeping her safe and stuff like that.
Point being, we got to move on from this because we spent way too much time on Mission Impossible.
Well, that's the thing.
We're always excited for Mission
Dude, it's,
Impossible.
it's
Well,
it's
what
Mission Impossible.
well what I like about this new one, it's Day of Reckoning Part 1.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get a part 2. So I'm really intrigued to see how this one's gonna end, and see what's gonna be what cliffhanger
Is
we're gonna
Timothy
get.
Oliphant in this?
Tom Cruise will be making Mission Impossible movies until that man is 90. He'll still look 60 or 50 because he's making. How old is he?
Oh,
Like-
Sean Harris is back on this one?
Oh yeah, because he didn't die in Fallout.
he didn't.
Which I'm interested because they're bringing him back, but he died in Fallout.
Who?
It could be like a message.
Who? For the people that are
Oh, Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Alec Baldwin.
he was shot in Fallout.
Wait, he's gonna be in.
That's
Yeah,
what it
Day
says.
of Reckoning. Yeah.
Is
He
Renner in
is?
this one?
Wait, he is in Day
No,
of
that's-
Reckoning.
That's showing Rogue Nation, dude.
Oh, sorry. I was like, what?
No, but
No,
he
yeah.
had it on Day.
No, he had it on Rogue Nation.
Oh, okay. I was like, no. I'm like, that man can't be acting right now, especially with everything that's going on.
Why? What's going on with Alec Baldwin?
Dude, he shot a cameraman.
Oh,
Camera
Nicholas
woman.
Holt is in it.
That was so long ago.
Yeah, but I think
Nicholas
he's still on
Holt.
trial.
Is he really?
Nicholas Holt is in this one.
Why would he be
Oh.
on trial?
It's a long story. We'll explain it afterwards. Not on the show. We got to move on. So, moving on. to some other news, movie news actually. Spider-Man, the movies, Homecoming, the Sam Raimi trilogy, and Venom are now streaming on Disney Plus.
Oh, I saw that
starting today, this Friday. So now you guys can catch them on there. But I don't know if you heard this piece of news that Disney is planning on merging the 3 apps, ESPN, Hulu, and Disney Plus, and combining them all into one thing later this year.
Yeah, it's just called Hulu.
You really think that they're going to get rid of
the next one?
He is?
Nick Offerman?
Nick Offerman's going to be in part 2 of Day of Reckoning. Sorry.
No. Okay, no, we got to move on. Don't do that. You're going to tangent Nick off. See? Hide it. Hide the screen. Hide the screen. Thank you. Okay. So, yeah.
Is it bad that I want him to be gay in this one? Have
Your mission is impossible.
your mission if you choose to accept it.
Be a man. Ethan.
You even know what I said in the last one?
No.
For what?
About Disney Plus?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man.
No, I said something else.
Yeah, he said that
About
Disney
Spider-Man is...
No,
No,
that
he
they're
said-
merging all 3 apps together by
Hulu,
later this
Disney
year.
Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN. I was listening.
That's not a... Wait, that's not a thing before?
That's what I said.
I don't think
Yeah.
it was.
Hulu is combined. 'Cause
Yeah,
there's
but
things on
I mean, you
Hulu
could
for
already
No.
get
Plus.
it though. That's the thing. So why are people?
It's already a
making big deal
package.
about that?
Because here's the
It's not
thing.
important.
It kind of is important
No,
when
no,
you
no.
really... No, because you know how it's being advertised now?
Mm-hmm.
That things are moving to Disney Plus, not the other way around.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Does it, though?
Yeah, why would I dissolve?
Especially when the brand is supposed to be family-friendly?
Yeah, because they already have a mature setting to it.
Yeah, you can
There's
watch
already a-
Deadpool on it.
There's a mature setting to it. You can watch R-rated movies on it.
Mm-hmm. You can watch. Was it the last Fantastic Four movie?
You can?
Yeah.
Rip. That sucks.
But my thing is that why would you want to separate? It makes sense when I have 3 separate apps that I'm getting viewers here, and here, and then people are spreading out the payments.
I would rather.
Why not just put one isolated payment, kind of like how you do on Peacock,
I do that, though.
and you get everything else?
I would rather they do it this way than just raise the price on Disney Plus.
I think for all 3, you can pay $15 a month.
I wouldn't mind if it was Disney Plus and then there was like Disney Plus Premium, and that came with sports, like that came with like all the other stuff. I would be okay with that.
I kind of don't want them to do that. I enjoy paying $15 a month for Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN, because if they start raising the price up to $20 for sports, rip. I'm probably not going to pay that. Guardians 3 broke a record. Holds the record for most prosthetics used in a film, going with 22,500 prosthetics.
That's awesome.
The original holder of this record was How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I think it's all the who's in Whoville.
Well,
but
yeah, they have
I wouldn't.
it's all the ears and the noses.
But I'm surprised. I'm not surprised that Guardians 3 took that record, especially with Counter Earth's scene with
Yeah.
all those animals.
Not only
humanoid
that, but
animals.
also all the people that were inside of the organic headquarters. A lot of them weren't CG. A lot of them were makeup,
Yeah.
prosthetics.
And now Guardians 3 is the second highest rated MCU film rated by fans in the entire trilogy, according to New Rockstars.
Cool.
So, yeah.
You know
Guardians
what?
3 is just sweeping.
My thing for Guardians 3, and I think it was so interesting because James Gunn said it too, because they asked him, what do you think of people saying that they're superhero fatigue? And
Oh yeah, I saw that.
You
Yeah.
and I were talking about this
Yeah.
earlier this week.
yeah, you were like, what do you think? What do you think of the super? I know I was reading your guys' messages. I read the chat. I just don't. I just.
I saw that.
Yeah. He's not wrong.
Oh, he saw that. Yeah.
Nick, you don't reply, dude.
I know.
We
read
were
it.
trying to figure out like Fast 10 when to get tickets, and you never even replied to that. He just went and got them.
It was
I
just
mean,
like
in all fairness, this week has been crazy. In general at work.
I like how you think that's an excuse.
Dude,
Other
I
people have
barely
crazy
looked-
weeks,
dude.
dude.
I barely looked at my phone. I have. It's a lot. Anyway,
Did he thank you for getting the tickets for Fast 10?
thank you for getting tickets for.
he did.
Oh,
now.
now he did.
I did it where it counts, where people can see it.
There's evidence.
Did you do it where people can see it?
Yeah,
no.
it's in the chats. It's in our
No.
personal chats.
No, you did.
Yeah, there's receipts. I can just screenshot and put it up here.
I have a receipt right here. It's a live receipt.
Yeah.
Look, he can play every single time that he wants me
You
to
know
say
where the
thank you,
receipts
Rene.
are? In here.
Every single time he ever feels like I need to tell him thank you, he can just play this back over and over. Where I go, thank you, Rene.
Thank you, Rene. Thank you, Rene. I'm all like,
Just edging yourself. No, but anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted.
And you haven't been doing that all freaking day?
No.
there's no evidence of that.
It's your word versus mine. Anyway, no, but he asked. A reporter asked him, what do you think of superhero fatigue?
Yeah.
And he then goes, I don't think that people are tired of superhero. I think they're more tired of just things being put on the screen. There's no emotion behind the actual.
People have been just getting trash. Like,
Well, no,
That's what he said. Is that it's just all action, no
it's just
emotion.
action, no emotion, and there's no emotion behind the things that are happening on the screen.
which is true, because if you honestly look back at the last few Marvel movies,
That's how they feel.
that's how they've been. Like Ant-Man 3.
We can go on a
But,
full-on discussion about
Shang-Chi,
this.
you feel like there's
Shang-Chi,
emotion.
yeah.
behind
No,
it.
there was emotion.
There
That's the
was.
thing. And
Yeah.
then we got what, Multiverse of Madness.
I'm just going to say this.
You're kind of like,
Yeah. I'm going to say this because you and I said this in the
Yeah.
chat, right? You and I, not you, because you don't read the chats.
Okay.
But you and I said this,
yeah.
right? Where, like,
Yeah.
obviously. But I love how it takes the Wonder Man James Gunn right now
Yeah.
to basically say this and people be like, yeah, you know what? He's right. No, there's people that know this.
yeah.
If you're tired of superhero movies, it's because you're tired of seeing buildings and characters be trashed around like rag dolls. Yeah, obviously, a good movie needs to have an emotional connection.
Yeah.
We said this in issue 148. The reason why Guardians 3 is such a great movie and the entire Guardians trilogy is so great is because James Gunn wrote each character to have some sort of like empathetic like connection to it, right?
Yeah.
Not just that, but the thing about James Gunn and the way he writes certain characters, or writes any character in any of the movies he's done so far, you either really love the characters or you hate them to the point that you want the worst thing to happen to them.
Yeah.
That's what happened with the High Evolutionary. That's what happened to Peacemaker's dad. You know, this is what happens with the Suicide Squad as well.
Oh, yeah.
The characters that were, expendable, that they were just done and over with,
Yeah.
they were killed off in the first part of the movie. And then as you started building connections to certain characters, he killed them off. The Polka Man, right? For example, he was a comic bit. There wasn't really any importance to it. He ended up dying.
No, because even for him, you started kind of feeling, because he started revealing more and more of the fact that his mom had done experiments on him, because on him and all of his siblings, and the fact that his greatest fear was his mother, and like that's his inspiration for being a hero. And
Why is James Gunn's best characters are the ones that were tortured when they were younger?
Didn't he say why? I thought there might have been an interview somewhere that he said that there was a reason why. I don't want to assume.
Yeah.
But
When we look at Polka Dot Man.
but that's the
Peacemaker.
no,
Peacemaker.
but the thing is that because everybody has like that
At least trauma.
Everybody has like a bit of trauma to them, and I think that's kind of where people connect, because they're not a perfect person. It's kind of like if Superman were to have trauma.
He's gonna give Superman trauma.
Like I can only imagine, because I think that would be interesting what would happen if Superman didn't control his powers, went to go save somebody, and wasn't careful, and like caught them and then snapped their neck right as he caught them because he was going too fast.
Imagine if Nick secretly knew James Gunn and was working with the script, and that's
Well,
how
what
he's telling
was
us all these
James
things.
Gunn's trauma?
Squirrels,
Animals.
animals,
Worms. That's why he made Slither.
Slither's a dope movie.
It's a really good movie.
I'm really hoping that Michael Rooker
Oh my
is.
God, the
I'm
amount
really
of
hoping
people
that
I've spoken to so far
What?
that are saying, "Dude, I watched Slither when it first came out, and that's why I'm a fan of James Gunn." I'm like, "Dude, James Gunn has been around in Hollywood for a while
No,
already.
your
Like,
first
why are
James
you?"
Gunn movie was Scooby Doo.
is it. Yeah, true. But also, I really want Michael Rooker to be Pocket.
Or Lex Luthor.
No, not Lex Luthor.
Hey, Superman.
no, because I can see him as a Pocket.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
He wasn't your daddy.
He wasn't your daddy.
You know that, Jor-El?
You know
May have
that-
been your dad. May have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy.
To wrap up
just uses
comic
the same
strips.
thing.
To wrap up comic strips.
Stepdad.
This week was the release of Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Nobody cares.
You will now when I say that Tears of the Kingdom does not allow you to pet
Just
dogs.
a Sharpie I dropped.
Sorry, what?
Yes, Dad.
Tears of the Kingdom
Daddy?
doesn't allow you...
Sorry.
I'm just waiting for you to be done.
Okay.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cut it out. God. Gonna get in trouble.
I'm just waiting. Stop, dude! I swear, man. Tears of the Kingdom doesn't allow you to pet dogs. The end.
What?
Yeah.
Why not?
Doesn't Resident Evil 4 let you pet dogs? You haven't gotten there yet.
No, I'm trying to remember. It makes you save a dog.
It also sends dogs to kill you.
Yeah.
That's true.
Why would you want to pet something that's going to murder you?
So this is now a game that went from a 10 out of 10 to a 5 out of 10. 'cause you can't pet
Well,
dogs.
it's okay because when in Resident Evil when you pet a dog, it's
okay.
because it's on top of you.
Were
and
you
snap,
able to
snap.
pet animals in Breath of the Wild?
I think you can pet a horse. I don't know.
You can pet the horse, and I think you can.
The horse? What? You pet the horse?
The horse. I was like, what are you saying? Horse? No, not that word.
Yes.
Costs extra.
That's the end of comic strips. We gotta move on because we're running out of
What is
time.
it? What is the?
Why do you
it's
do
dangerous?
that? Dude,
It's dangerous to
we're
go alone. Take this.
I'll take this. Yeah. It's a
What's
bag
my
of money.
stress level so far, dude? I swear, Nick's
Hand
just been causing,
sanitizer.
dude. Oh, my stress is pretty decent today.
Yeah, you're
you go.
green. What are you
Yeah,
talking
I
about?
don't know. You frustrate
for
me
gold.
sometimes. Nick, you can go take a nap now. We're going to be talking about wrestling. So yeah, if you want to go to sleep.
No, it's fine. I'll listen.
No, let's talk a little bit of wrestling. A little bit. This isn't really
Can I
that
play
much
the
of a
Cody Rhodes
conversation.
song?
Kingdom?
Country road.
No,
Take-
Cody Rhodes, not the Country Roads song.
Oh.
Cody Rhodes. We're talking wrestling, Nick. Pay attention. So, Backlash happened this last Saturday.
Yes.
And Monday Night Raw followed.
Mhm.
Here's the big point about this. Backlash, far superior than WrestleMania this
Yeah,
year.
at least so I said it. I liked it more than Sunday night of WrestleMania.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, personally, if we were to kind of pull one thing out of Backlash,
Yeah.
right? The biggest fight was Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest.
That was a good majority of the pay-per-view, honestly.
Yeah. That
Who
fight,
won?
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
Dude,
won?
mad respect to
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Mad respect to little Benito.
He's part of the LWO now.
Yeah.
Is he really?
That was
Yeah.
that was confirmed in SmackDown on Friday the night before.
Yeah.
Bad
Backlash.
Bunny's a wrestler now.
Dude, he's been a wrestler.
Okay, in all fairness, he's a huge wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm.
And he hosted a WrestleMania a couple years back. And it got big reactions and stuff like that. So Vince's like, oh, this Bad Bunny is making me money. You know, so I'm going to...
then he rip oceans again.
And basically he was like, okay, we'll have him for Backlash and stuff. So
Yeah.
it was good.
He's a pretty good wrestler.
Well,
Dude,
plus-
that guy got freaking thrown into 2 tables
Yeah.
and still lived. Everyone was saying, dude, that guy died.
You know what I want? I want Mr. America back.
Why?
Because I just like that story.
Okay, sure. Whatever.
Yeah.
So, Damian Priest, Bad Bunny match was the highlight.
Was good. Yes.
That was the biggest one, and it wasn't because of the guest appearances or anything that happened when the
No,
LWO
yeah.
came to save. It's the fact that Bad Bunny took hits like a freaking champ.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that that guy has respect now for those things,
Oh,
right?
definitely. He did a way better job than Logan Paul would ever do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're just watching that match. I to a point felt that Bad Bunny wasn't holding back. And I
Yeah.
think that's kind of how you should be running these wrestling matches. Like you're gonna get hurt, and yeah, of course the fights are fake.
Yeah.
But
I mean, honestly, if I was the entertainer, I would tell my opponent, be like, "Hey, man, let's sell it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna smack me, go ahead and do it. Don't worry.
Leave a mark.
We're selling it. We're gonna hype it up. You know.
That makes sense.
And fans react to that. That's
oh yeah,
the thing.
and props to Damian Priest too for taking those hits
yeah.
because he was taking hits like crazy.
Yeah. And then I think I told you before, moving forward, Damian Priest is now going to be a main eventer moving forward, which is good for the Judgment Day. But at the same time, you know, I'm interested to see where they're going to go with Damian Priest. If they're ever going to make him champion in a couple of years,
Yeah.
that would be interesting to see. You know, but I
What
don't
about,
know.
what about Damian Priest and Bad Bunny as tag team partners?
They were originally. I think
they?
there was a point where they were friends.
They were friends, yeah. But then Damian Priest joined Judgment Day with Dominic Mysterio and stuff, and that's what turned the whole thing.
The headlining match was supposed to be, I think that was the headliner.
What?
But the Damian Priest and Bad Bunny match, it was advertised like that. But they pushed more advertising for the Cody Rhodes Brock Lesnar match, which I liked.
So overall Backlash, they were flying through the matches before the Bad Bunny and Damian Priest match, because the Rhea Ripley and what's her name, the one from LWO.
Oh, Zelina Vega.
Yeah, that match felt really short.
It felt short, and it was a heartbreak because I loved both women.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley throws hits and they're not fake.
No, she goes into it.
One of her plugs came out. Did you notice it when she slammed?
Oh, when he picked
Vega?
her up, when she picked her up like this and then boom,
slammed her on her back.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, her plug comes out.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So she sells those hits.
Mm-hmm.
The heartbreak is the fact that Zelina Vega could have won that match.
Yeah.
And it kind of made it seem that way up until the very end. I don't know. Was there intervention by anyone?
No, it was all them. That's the thing, and it was like Rhea Ripley kind of just like came out of nowhere and just took over the match.
That was it, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. So, which was interesting because you could tell that the match was cut short, and I think it was because of both the street fight and then also the main event as well too. But overall, it was still an okay match. I was hoping Zelina would more sell the 619 that she did.
She did do it pretty well.
She did a good job, but she didn't put any like power into it. It was very like very. She was going for it and she completed it, but I didn't feel like the power into it that caught because Rhea can sell being hurt. Yeah. That's the thing, and she sells it so well. And so it was funny because you see like Zelina just kind of go boom, and Rhea's like and stuff, and I was like, ooh, okay.
It was. Here's the thing. I like Rhea Ripley as a wrestler.
Yes, definitely.
I don't think her story right now is it's not as interesting. She is the SmackDown Women's Champion, but we got to see more of that. And right now she's just kind of taking fights from challengers.
Yeah.
And she's winning them. Obviously she's going to win them. She needs a rival. I
heard that they're trying to do something with her and maybe Becky, but at the same time I heard also a rumor that Sasha Banks is coming back. She's wrestling in Japan right now.
She's in New Japan wrestling right now. But that doesn't make any sense because she's been advertised. If you heard, that's interesting. And if that rumor is true, that's interesting because right now she's in New Japan.
Yeah.
And she's gotten titles over there.
Yeah.
But I know that those contracts tend to be short.
Yeah. So I heard that she is in talks with WWE and possibly, so they might have her putting up against Rhea Ripley. That would be a great adversary for her. Sasha Banks and Rhea Ripley.
I kind of hope that it's Zelina Vega that ends up being her rival only because she needs to have more work. Like Zelina Vega can be a champion. She showed it in that match. Yeah. She just needs to kind of keep it going. I'm a fan of hers. I'm a fan of hers and I'm really excited for her storyline. Yeah. So I hope that it continues well because, she deserves it. Other than that, Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, that match was cut short. It was really good up until a point.
So what I give props to that match, I personally like that match a lot because I loved that Cody did it so strategically against Brock Lesnar. So as soon as Cody comes out, he's the first one to come out. Then Brock Lesnar comes out, and Cody just goes for it. He doesn't waste any time. He literally starts hitting him before the bell rings, which in technicality, the match hasn't started yet. So you can do whatever you want until both men are in the ring and the bell rings. So he's like grabbing the steel steps, hitting them with it. He tries to grab a chair, and the referee is like, no. You guys are both in the ring. We got to ring the bell now. He goes, then ring the bell. And then that's when they go for it and stuff.
They go at it. And it was the match was interesting because when the fight became official, you can tell that there was that like raw hatred between the two. And even they took off the padding off the turnbuckle as well.
So Cody, I saw that. I was wondering if that was intentional or not, but Cody just kind of like grabs it and it comes undone. And then I think Brock sees it. He was gonna slam Cody against it, but then Cody did like a kind of like, oh no, and then you see just Brock just hit his face.
So that was a real cut.
That was a real cut because you see, I was looking at it again. He really mashed his face into that exposed turnbuckle, and there was a gash right here between his eyebrows.
So Andy doesn't do well with blood.
Oh,
here's the thing: in that era of WWE, cut like almost 2 decades back, those things got pretty bloody and pretty messed up. Oh, yeah. They've held back a lot in the recent years, right? So when that happened, Andy was in such shock, and she kind of was like quiet throughout that rest of the match. Are you looking it up to show?
No,
Did you see his face after or no? No? Okay. She was in shock the entire time because those dudes were bathed in blood, dude. It was bad. It was pretty bad.
Let me see if they have
because Cody Rhodes comes out with like blood all over his like chest and everything. Yeah.
See.
Oh, still.
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Match was cut short. So
I see.
How was the match cut short?
Okay, so you see how this was? He has him in an arm lock. Cody, I'm like talking with the mic away. Cody does this maneuver where he pushes forward and Brock pushes Brock over on his shoulders. His shoulders are down. The ref sees it. Counts 1, 2, 3. Brock doesn't kick out. That's the thing.
The thing about the match is the way it ended. It was short, but Cody didn't celebrate the win. He walks backstage immediately.
Yes, he's leaving. As soon as he hears the bell, he's walking away.
What's wrong with his arm?
Oh, that's where he had it down, and Brock was literally, you could tell he was nudging
Putting
at
in
it.
there, yeah.
He was really kind of like nudging at it and stuff. See, and then he's covered in Brock's blood right here. But that's the thing, and Brock is notorious for acting up when something doesn't go in his favor behind the scenes. So I'm thinking it wasn't supposed to go that route, and I think the idea was that Cody was supposed to win, but I think Brock wanted a much more longer match.
And so you think that he pushed, okay, because now this brings up to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Not much has happened, and I think you and I, this is a quick conversation at this point, because you and I were talking about this. Monday Night Raw after the draft, it's still the 3-hour length, right? But you can tell that there's a lot of filler in between key matches, right? So Monday Night Raw, I think the only big things that really happened that Monday was the tournament bracket, which was the triple threat match that set up Seth Rollins to face the SmackDown winner, which is happening tonight. Yes. Yeah. No spoilers in case anyone's seen it. If you guys obviously did. It got ruined for me on Instagram. Yeah. Should I just say it or
I mean, we can say it now because it's Wednesday, but in this posts.
AJ Styles wins it on the SmackDown side, so the Night of Champions is going to be Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles.
Which is cool. They're giving it to both people that kind of haven't had a title match in some years.
Yeah.
I think Seth freaking Rollins was he was WWE champion. That was the last title he held, and I think AJ Styles was also Universal champion.
Yeah.
So
it's an interesting matchup, but on Monday Night Raw, you had those fights happen. Obviously, Seth Rollins was going to win on his side. Yeah. Cody Rhodes was supposed to win on that side.
He was on the bracket. Yeah.
He had the win.
He was going to go for the win.
Brock Lesnar comes in, pulls him away.
Yeah, and there's no disqualifications in a triple threat match, which I found out getting back into wrestling that's a new stipulation that they've done. If it's more than one person, two people in a match, there's no disqualifications.
So I'm frustrated because we get to see Cody Rhodes get F5 twice again.
Yes.
And I'm like, dude, I'm so tired. Just
on
let
the
him
table
finish.
too.
Yeah, and I'm like, just finish the story. Like, everyone loves Cody Rhodes. If WWE is trying to make the story longer to pique interest, that's fine. But you don't want to see your hero get beat down multiple times with the same dude.
So Cody, in an interview before the tournament, I think I said it to you. It was on comicbook.com. He talked to one of the interviewers. He was in Puerto Rico. They were doing a via Skype call. He says he was asked, "Are you interested in becoming the world heavyweight champion, the new title belt?" He goes, "My story I've always aimed for the WWE championship. Now, if my story does lean towards the world heavyweight championship belt, that's fine." He goes, "I'm not going to lie. That title looks good. That's a cool looking title. Who wouldn't want to be championship? You know, that's every wrestler's dream is to become a world heavyweight champion, you know, and stuff like that. But as of right now, if my story is leaning towards that, I will go for it." So the thing is that Cody's mostly aiming for the WWE championship,
the undisputed one that Roman Reigns has.
Roman Reigns has. Yeah.
So, I get it. That's fine because you do want that. We want that rematch.
So
because it was taken away from him unfairly.
So I think we're gonna get that later in the years to come. We'll get Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, but as of right now, this is what they're doing with Cody and Brock. I've heard in another interview that Brock is looking to retire soon, and he wants to do it in a good payout. And he says he wants to help other wrestlers along the way. So I think this is his way of building Cody up. Which is having him against Brock Lesnar. So.
It's fine. In another group chat that I'm in, someone posted the 21-1 card that has the Undertaker because Brock Lesnar ruined his streak, right? And I'm just like, robbery, like, and he robbed another man of another championship, which he could have been with Cody Rhodes. Yeah. Point being, Night of Champions, it's Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar again. Yeah. And then tonight on SmackDown, they also announced Solo Sikoa.
Roman Reigns have put in their names to go against Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens for the undisputed tag team title.
Which is stupid because if Roman Reigns gets another title on his stupid waist,
I'm gonna see Paul Heyman like he's holding all the titles. He's like dropping everything and stuff because that's another 2 titles he has to hold.
It's annoying,
Yeah.
dude. It's so annoying. Other than that, Monday Night Raw, I feel like that was kind of the highlight. You also had Dominic Mysterio fight against guy from the New Day.
Oh yeah.
Something Woods. Xavier Woods.
Yeah, that was a funny match.
That was a good match.
Yeah, it was funny.
And shows Dominic Mysterio's athleticism as well, which was good. But we'll revisit WWE again in about 2 weeks.
In about 2 weeks, yeah. As of right now, I think because Night of Champions is going to be the end of this month. If anything, if we don't do anything 2 weeks, we'll talk about Night of Champions.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. Yeah.
Shout out to the Bianca Blair and Elo Sky match at the beginning of Backlash. That
Yeah.
was a solid one.
That was a
too.
good match.
That's a good match to open it up
God.
with. We get it. You don't want to talk about WWE? No, all right, fine. All right.
No, like I've been trying to hold this coffin for like the last 10, 15 minutes, and then I'm trying to like get it out like very slowly. Just,
Man, you didn't have to. We get it. You don't want to talk about wrestling, all right? It's fake to you. You don't enjoy it.
it's not that I don't enjoy it; I just haven't watched it.
Yeah. Just start watching it, man.
Listen,
Dude, I
I
get
watch
hyped.
I watch everything else. I don't have time for this.
Yeah, neither do I. I still do. Listen, man.
No, you don't. You don't watch everything.
Listen. Okay, I'm telling you, it feels different when you're lifting weights at the gym. All right, and then Kingdom comes on your Spotify playlist, and you just start. You get that extra second wind.
It what?
"Ah!"
It does what?
No.
Can you,
Kingdom comes on. No, Kingdom. I'm trying to find a way to say it.
it does what?
The song Kingdom plays on your Spotify
There you
playlist.
go.
There.
There
Is
you
that
go.
better? Is that better?
Yeah, because that was weird.
Oh my god, dude.
You're at the gym and that happens? What? Like, EO sounds like a terrible gym. Oh my god.
my god, dude.
Just random people.
I love how it was a social interaction. Yeah, you know what? This podcast does work on this 3-man dynamic, dude. Rene and I were just talking, professionally about this, enjoying something we really liked, and then you come in and start coughing. I'm like, I don't think about wrestling anymore. Make fun of me for saying something.
You're the one that's saying stuff about cum. That's not-
God,
that's not
dude.
me.
Good God.
You're the one
Do you want
that's
to talk about the
talking
writer's strike? Is that what you want to do?
I'm waiting on you.
Okay, well,
You
let's
guys-
talk about the writer's strike while
guys
Rene
are-
comes back in a bit. Stepped out for a second. So let's talk the writer's strike, which is a topic that we revisited, or that we visited last issue. We barely talked about it, skimmed the surface of it, because this is a bigger deal, and it has been a bigger deal over the past couple of days. So to start off, I'm going to name a couple little tidbits, and then we'll talk about their actual demands and see where it goes, because I think they're meeting in 2 days. April 14th, I think, is when they are supposed to meet again to determine if they should meet their demands. So, over the past week, as the writer's strike has continued, multiple shows have stopped production. So we know that the late night shows have stopped filming. Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, and Seth Meyers have all said that they are no longer doing the late night shows, and I think they're only doing reruns right now to join the writer's strike. They're
in solidarity.
in solidarity for it. But productions for shows and movies has also stopped. This includes the list of The Last of Us Season 2, halted production. Seth MacFarlane shows, including Family Guy and American Dad, have stopped production.
Do they have
Good
writers?
Omens? Huh?
Do they have writers?
For what?
Yes.
American Dad and Family Guy?
Yes.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like they don't.
Good Omens 2, which was a surprise because
Yeah.
they just announced the Season
It
2
was so
yesterday.
long between now and season 1 of Good Omens.
So Andy's excited for it because she loved the first season. I haven't seen it. I should.
it's good.
It's good. I've heard nothing
really
but good
good.
things about it. But I always thought that Good Omens was a one and done. And then it's like, oh, season 2.
The way, so the thing is that they wrap up the story of Good Omens.
In case.
Of what they do wrap up like the main arc. But the thing is that the way that you just love those two characters.
Yeah.
And the way they end it there is kind of like, oh, we're still here, so whatever mischiefs we'll get into and stuff
But,
like that.
but it's kind of like if we didn't get a season 2.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing. So it does leave it kind of like,
Good Omens was a show that came out 3-4 years ago?
I want to say more than that. Hold
More
on.
than that?
I can check. Hold on.
So Good Omens 2 stopped production. Cobra Kai, the last season, has also stopped production.
Yeah.
And SNL is no longer...
That's hard
Here.
too because those kids are aging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
SNL?
kids- no.
Or Cobra Kai.
Talking about Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
Listen, I know that SNL, they're all 19, but I mean,
But I thought that they had already finished the scripts for Cobra Kai.
Yeah, that show came out. Sorry, Good Omens came out in 2019.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Right before the pandemic.
Yeah. I think that's what caused the pandemic. That was the mischief they got into.
But anyway, but for Cobra Kai, I think they were still working on like the back half.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they finished the. I think they finished the first half.
Yeah.
And then they were still working on the back half of the season, like the finale.
I think because they were waiting on Zolo to finish out whatever he needed
Blue
to do
Beetle.
for Blue Beetle.
Okay, so here's
I
where
imagine he's gonna be
this is where we're going to talk mostly about the writer strike is their demands.
Yeah.
I don't think this is where I don't think that it's going to last as long as the previous ones. Before we start talking about their demands, though, people that have joined the writer strike include directors and actors,
Yes.
including people like Matt Reeves, Mattson Tomlin,
Mm-hmm.
Tomlins. The Nolan brothers, Jonathan and Christopher, have also joined.
Cool.
right.
Ben Schwartz, Jason Sudeikis, and Brandon Hurt are just a couple people that have joined the writer strike. So they keep joining every single day. Someone new joins, which is good. It's good. You have the support of directors and actors alike who are showing support for these writers because their listed demands, as we've seen it before, or as we've seen it, we're seeing it now.
Yeah.
They make sense.
No. Yeah.
This
they're
is
not
100%
They're
makes
not
sense.
totally out of the works. What they're asking for is pretty,
They would
pretty
like,
understandable.
Yeah.
They would like to make more than minimum wage.
So
Yeah.
what we talked about in issue 147 was that the idea of the writer strike is mainly based on the streaming revenues.
Mm-hmm.
When we looked at the list of demands today, it's much more than that.
Yeah.
Streaming seems to be like the big headlining piece that they're asking for.
That and AI.
That and now,
Yeah.
because we didn't talk about that last week, it's AI.
Yeah. That's the biggest fear right now.
Yeah.
When it comes to content creating or also just in general, I guess in
Their biggest
production.
Yeah.
biggest thing is that they feel they want to be supported and they want the they want the producers to say you will not be replaced by an AI
So
no matter what.
to start off, let's start talking about the streaming revenue, right? Last week we talked about how most writers nowadays aren't really getting or not getting at all any revenue from streaming services if their shows keep being played on repeat.
Yes.
Royalty doesn't exist.
They do not get residuals because so the way that residuals worked, once you hit 100 episodes, you can then go into what's called syndication, and that would be you can be streamed at any time, and that can be streamed all over the world. Now, syndication could play any one of your episodes or anything like that, and because it played one of your episodes, it would then give you some kind of profit from that episode playing. So it could be $1, it could be 25 cents. It just really depends on what your contract says, because once you hit that, then you have to do a residuals thing, and that's the whole reason why the 100 mark in a lot of TV shows is such a big deal. Because for one, you hit 100 episodes, which is amazing. That means you hit at least 5 seasons if it's a 20 episode.
Add more detail to that. 5 seasons, about 4 to 5 years back.
Exactly.
Because nowadays, seasons on any network run for 10 to 12, maybe if you're lucky,
Exactly.
14 episodes.
And that's the hardest thing though. With streaming coming out, you only get maybe 10 to 12 episodes a season. And then a show will only go for maybe 4 to 5 seasons. So that would mean that you're only
3.
hitting or 3. So, and depending on how exactly that works, like, because some of these shows only have 8 episodes. So you're getting in these weird ballparks of like maybe 30 episodes, maybe 20. So it's not enough to hit syndication. So that means that you don't get those extra profits when the show keeps on streaming. And that's a bigger problem.
Did you guys watch that 90s show?
Yes.
I watched
Yeah.
maybe like the first 2.
I finished the whole thing.
So did you hear what the not the controversy, but like the complaint of most people about the show was? The show wasn't terrible.
It's good.
It was
I liked
it was good. But a lot of people were saying that the 10 episodes that were had in that season felt very off because they were supposed to spend the entirety of summer vacation on these kids. Like that was the whole point.
Yeah.
Right? Leia was supposed to be involved in a lot of antics and it was supposed to be longer than 10 episodes. Or it should have felt like that.
Well, when you're coming off from a series that did 22 episodes per season.
It feels weird.
It feels weird. But it just doesn't feel weird for that reason. The story makes no sense. Because in the back half of it, Leia starts this romantic relationship with Kelso's
Kid.
son.
Yeah.
Right? And it just felt rushed. There was no development. The
Mhm.
characters didn't necessarily get to build relationships with one another.
Yeah.
And it just kind of felt like the story was left unfinished. And she said, "Peace out. I'm going to be back next
Well,
summer."
that's the other thing is because you get things like Grant Gustin.
Yeah.
Grant Gustin he used to say it all the time over at cons because they would go, "How does it feel to be doing 20 to 22 episodes?" I think Stephen Amell used to say it too, and he goes, "It's really interesting because we do so many episodes, we really get to explore the psychology of the characters. We get to explore their motivations. You get to really spend time with superheroes, and instead of it being a 2-hour movie where you get to spend this like little fraction of time, you now get to spend 22 hours with this character, and you really feel like you know him, and you really feel like you know his motivations, and that's like the greatest part about being on TV. But the problem is that writers aren't feeling. They feel like they're being underpaid because what's happening is that not only are you going for lower episode counts, but what the producers are now doing is so that way they can make sure that you don't get your residuals. They're then saying, cool, we have a 10 to 12 episode slot, but we're only hiring this writer for 2 of those episodes. And those 2 episodes aren't going to count for syndication, and they're not going to count for anything else. So you're going to get this lump check for just these 2 weeks of work that you're 2, maybe 5 weeks of work that you're really getting, and then you go on your way, and we don't see you again unless we call you back.
I think the problem goes further than that because from my understanding is that networks are afraid to pick up shows because they don't want to have that hope that these shows can like last. There's that fear, right? Shows will usually run for 20 episodes. The first season, they usually only order 10 episodes to be on the safe side.
Yes.
But now instead of being on the safe side and ordering only 10 as a start and then ordering more for the season, they order 10 and it's done.
I actually didn't know this. So I was listening to the Witches of Waverly podcast, and I thought it was so. Don't judge me.
It's the Wizards
It's the
of
Wizard of
Waverly
Waverly
Place.
Are you serious? There's
they
a
have
podcast?
there's
No,
a podcast.
I'm not looking at you because I'm judging you. I'm looking at it because I'm like, I didn't know they had a podcast.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
a new. You know what? That's another new thing now.
Is a lot
that-
of like these child actors.
Yeah.
They're having podcasts with their castmates.
Wait, hold up. So there's a Witches of Waverly. Oh my God, I can't say it. There's a podcast on them. Is Selena Gomez the one that's on?
No, Selena Gomez
it's-
isn't on it. It's her. It's the co-star, and then the dad.
Yeah.
Out of the 2 hosts.
Is it a good podcast?
It's actually really good because they talk about because they go through episode by episode, and they talk about the trouble that they were going through while filming. They go through everything else. Like the dad was saying, he goes, "It's interesting because when we first got picked up in the very beginning for our pilot, we had already filmed all of season 1 before the show even got picked up. So before the pilot even aired, we had filmed an entire season and we're already working on season 2." And then he was going, the reason why we did that is because you guys age so fast. So we were already working on season 2 stuff, and we needed to film as fast as possible. So that means that we were doing an episode a week, and we were trying to bang them out as fast as possible because that would happen. And they wanted to make sure that we had them at this age. So he was going, when episode 1 is coming out, we're already in season 2 and we have all these storylines that are kind of going on. So, you kind of forget what's going on when think of what's airing and what you're working on.
But those shows, I feel like you can just crank them out fast because they're kind of like filmed on one set. They're like one and done. They're classic sitcoms, right?
Well,
like the thing is, like iCarly season 3 is supposed to be coming out. The new one that's on Paramount Plus. I think their new season starts in June, but they just finished their last season, like not that long ago. Season
True,
2,
because
right?
I also have you listened to the Boy Meets World podcast?
No.
It's actually really funny.
It's actually really good.
It's
yeah.
really
good. 'cause
That and then also the Ned's Declassified one's really good.
that one's super funny.
Yeah.
That one's really
I heard
good.
that good for them for picking up that name. I heard that they couldn't use that name because
for the longest
Nickelodeon,
time,
and then
And
Nickelodeon just kind of.
it's so weird how Nickelodeon treats for Ned's Declassified. Like they really don't care about it, but they don't want them to do anything with it.
Yeah, because apparently they pitched a reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they went, no, we're not going to do it. And they go, cool, can we buy it so we can ship it around? So we can shop
so
it around
send
on
it
Hulu
to other places
or something else. And they go, no, we're like, you can't have it right now.
Mm-hmm.
We might use it in the future.
Yeah, and then after that they announced, Zoe 101, show's gonna revamp.
But that's
I'll say this.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how they're not doing that, but they revamped iCarly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's besides the point. The reason why I was even mentioning what was going on over here was because you have all of these shows that are only going for 10 episodes and everything else, but they're trying to pump these out and pay people these writers the least amount of money as possible. So what's happening is that you're getting only 2 episodes of pay, whereas what it used to be is you were a writer's room and you went through an entire season. That's why also sometimes some shows feel off, because what happens is that you have writers in the very beginning, but those writers aren't the same throughout the entire season. So that's why there's a lot of ups and downs in a season, because it doesn't feel consistent.
Is that the case with Cobra Kai though? Because Cobra Kai has felt pretty solid.
No, that's been the same writer's room.
That's been the same, right?
It's been the same writer's room. But if you go by like Game of Thrones, totally different writers for episode to episode. What was it? Miss Marvel. Different writers, episode to episode.
Yeah.
Mandalorian, same thing.
That's the thing, yeah. So you have certain bigger productions that will have, okay, you guys are going to do this group right here is going to do episode 1, 3, and 5.
Yes.
This room is going to be doing 2, 4, and 6.
It's so that way they can speed up the process.
Yes.
And pump it out fast.
And sometimes, 9 times out of 10, there's no communication between these 2 rooms.
They have a outline
Yeah.
of this is what they're talking about over here. This is an outline of what they're doing. So that's another reason why sometimes when you're watching a TV show, you go, it was really good in the beginning of the show, and then in the middle it dips a little bit, and then it picks up again, because you have these lulls inside of it, because maybe you had a different writer's room that was working on it or whatever. But the other thing that people aren't thinking about is the fact that you're only getting paid for maybe a week, a week's worth of work, but then writers are then saying, oh, we're not going to take on other jobs because I don't know if the job I just worked on is going to get picked up.
Yeah,
so
that's
passing on other jobs.
That's what we kind of mentioned last week, was that a lot of writers have had to pick up a lot of, gigs more frequently because they're just they're not being let go, but they're finishing up their contracts and then having to kind of just like find newer ones.
Yeah.
Honestly,
right?
It's very close to the way that the video game industry treats its animators and its game designers, are very much your contract based.
I get it to a
And you can
point.
get dropped at any point.
I get it to a point, right? Because you don't want to basically, if your writer doesn't work out, if they're stale, right? Or they're not building the story up to have that audience interest, you don't want to be stuck with that writer, right?
Well,
and then have that show potentially dead.
But remember, it's not there isn't in no show or anything like that. It is not a single writer.
It's multiple writers.
It's a head writer with a writer's room.
Yes.
And then they bounce ideas off.
So that's the problem right there. Is that's where I agree with them in the sense that these shows need to have those risks, because if you don't have that risk of having writers consistently be on that show, right? You start to fall in that problem that you have, that you were saying, right? Which is the shows start to have lulls, or certain episodes don't connect to one another, and certain ideas get thrown out of the way. Why was this idea mentioned in this episode and never brought back again? You're missing those elements, right?
It's kind of like comic books.
Yeah. Cobra Kai, to me, has always felt so different than most other shows that have had the same format of only having 10 to 11 episodes per season, because every season has felt like a break of some kind. It doesn't feel like a season end. It feels like this is the end of this segment.
Yeah.
We're moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I want to kind of also say that we're falling into this like idea of only having 10 to 14 episodes per season, streaming did a lot of that. And it's this binge mentality that these streaming services have kind of modernized now.
I need to pump this out.
Huh?
I need to pump this out as
You need to
fast
pump
as
this out. People will we've talked about this before, way back in previous issues. I'm not for the binge mentality.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's there. I like having the ability and the option to do so.
It's fine. Yeah.
It's fine. But you're missing the excitement of
That's
like the week by week excitement.
As an example, Mando season 2. Mando season 2 is an amazing thing when watching it as it's coming out.
Yeah.
Because it's episode to episode. But if you were just to go, all 10 episodes are up, go watch them and everything like that, I don't think you would have had that same, oh my God moment at the very end of the season, because there would have been some people that finished it the first night and then the ending would have been spoiled. And then there's people that would have finished it 5 months down the road. But the ending would have been spoiled for everybody. Whereas you kind of going on this journey with Mando and you doing everything else. By the time you get to that, it is now an event.
Yeah.
You're getting to it, and you're like, oh my god, we're gonna finish the storyline. Everybody watches it at the same time, and everybody has this event style of watching, and we don't have that a lot anymore.
No,
we don't, because people will binge them. That's great.
Same thing with Breaking Bad. Same thing with any of these other shows.
Oh yeah, can you imagine watching Breaking Bad when a season comes out and it's all up on just to binge?
Oh, dude, that's what I did for Breaking Bad.
Oh, that you did in general for Breaking Bad?
One of my buddies, because the last season of Breaking Bad was coming out, and one of my buddies had never seen Breaking Bad. And I go, dude, Breaking Bad is amazing. And he goes, I'm not going to like Breaking Bad. And I go, dude, you're going to love Breaking Bad.
I told Maddie that too, because she doesn't want to watch Breaking Bad, but I go like, no, you'll like it. It's fun. It's very suspenseful.
It's fun?
Yeah, no, it's honestly
it's fun in a suspenseful way.
Yeah.
it's fun in a suspenseful way because you're so involved.
Yeah, you are.
You get
You're
so
invested.
enticed.
You're very invested. But the thing is that I remember watching it with him, and it was so interesting to see him so ingrained in the show. By the end of the first episode, he literally went, push the next episode, like push play.
Yeah.
And go on to the next episode, to the point where he was sleeping over and just watching Breaking Bad on my TV.
The internet has brought a lot of good things and a lot of bad things.
Yeah.
It has.
The internet brought us streaming.
Yeah.
You're able to watch TV, films, whatever it is that you want on the go, to your phones, anything, right? And it also gave us, Netflix. Netflix was a game changer when it first came out, right? You get to rewatch shows that have been out for years and have no access to it. Now you can.
Yeah.
Right. That's how, for me at least, Netflix was how I got to watch Blue Mountain State.
Oh, really?
The streaming service introduced me to Blue Mountain State, right? The thing I have a problem with right now is that Netflix to me is kind of like an enemy. Because it releases everything all at once. Disney Plus at least is enjoyable in the sense that when it comes to those shows, you release them on a weekly basis, right? I might have fallen behind on Mando season 3, but the option of having these weekly releases was really entertaining because you get to be excited for, I can't wait for next week kind of mentality, right?
Yeah.
The other thing that I don't like about the internet right now, right, in terms of like how it's affecting everyone is that, because to me, we can all agree on this, writers are the foundation of any good
Story.
product, of any good story, right? The excitement gets ruined when these things come out all at once, or there's a premiere of some sort. And Guardians 3 is a good example of this, right? Where I already knew the ending of Guardians 3 simply by a thumbnail that was posted on YouTube by IGN. And it was the outline of Adam Warlock, and the title reads, information about the new Avenger or the new Guardian. And I'm like, you just ruined it. Obviously. Like, I could have put the 2 and 2 together if I really thought about it. But if I'm playing dumb, I wouldn't have known until the very end.
Yeah.
In all fairness, I didn't know what it was. New Rockstars posted, information on the after credit scene for Guardians, and it's a picture of Giant Groot. But the thing is that it was all blurred, and it says censored across it. So so the entire image is blurred, and it says censored across it. But you can see the outline of some giant figure. I didn't know what it was, and I was kind of like, "That's interesting. Like, I wonder what that is." I didn't click the video, but when I went into the movie and we got to that point, I was like, "Oh, that's what it was."
It's interesting because they also changed Groot's color tone.
Yeah.
In that.
The
scene
reason
too.
I bring this up is because this idea is kind of what a lot of production companies, or not production companies, but distributors, right, are kind of writing off on, is that, well, people have access to all this stuff, all this information. Why do we need to play it safe and, why do we need to do the things that these guys are demanding? Right? They're going to fall into the fact that these writers don't need to have, we need to keep these writers for longer than 10 episodes.
Yeah.
We don't need to order a 20 episode show because people are still liking these 10 episode arcs. That's fine.
Yeah.
Right? It feels like they kind of have the upper hand here. They don't need to fall into the demands. The internet has also brought us AI. It's the new thing that's happening. That's been around for years at this point, but it just got like popularized.
It's not
over the last
that,
couple of months.
No, it's not that it's been around for so many years. It has never been so accessible.
Thank you. That's what it is.
to the public.
ChatGPT is now an app on your phone.
It can be.
No, it is.
I know, but what I'm saying, is that you can download ChatGPT on your phone, and you can do whatever. Now, my thing is that I know, like, Mrs. Davis. We were talking about it before the show started. It's a show that the writers, the people in the writers' room, as they're writing a script, whenever they seem to run into a problem, they then run the script through it, and then they tell it to find the next, like, how do I get to this point? And then ChatGPT will then find a way to, like, connect
The AI.
these. Yeah, the AI will then figure out how to connect it. So the other thing that the writers are conflicted about is that the writers are conflicted in saying that you cannot take away our jobs and give it to an AI. And they want that confirmation from the producers. They want them to say, your jobs are safe. Even if we do use AI, we still have to have writers in the room to observe it, to do whatever or anything like that, to monitor and make sure that the storylines are staying the same way. They don't want to say that. They're kind of going on the thing of like, well, we have ChatGPT, so why don't we use it? But the thing that I feel like also the producers don't understand from ChatGPT is they don't understand how it works. They don't understand the technology that's in front of them. They just see it as a new mode of, convenience. Because ChatGPT is not coming up with a storyline. It's not coming up with ideas. What it's doing is it's searching the internet and then finding things that match your question or your statement inside of it. So if you tell it, I want you to make let's say if you're a teacher, I want you to make a lesson plan on how to make Star Wars slime. It's then going to scour the internet for Star Wars and slime, those keywords, then put it together and then search the internet for how exactly to make the thing that you're asking for and then make a lesson plan for it. But it does not create. It's not going to have a genuine idea of how exactly to make it. Just like the High Evolutionary said, if anything, no, but honestly,
Guardians 3.
No, but it does, but it does fit.
Yeah.
If you make something think, but it doesn't have any invention, it's going to die on the vine. There's no way of it actually putting emotion or anything else into its storylines. You need that human aspect inside of a story, or else it's going to fall flat.
It's this idea of AI really, and I've been trying to find the episode, but I don't know why South Park hasn't posted the new season up anywhere for me to watch, or at least I can't find it. I really want to watch the AI written episode because it's interesting to me because I get the feeling that they did it. I mean, obviously Matt Stone and Trey Parker approved it as a parody, right? They wanted to see how ChatGPT would write a South Park episode.
Yeah, it's funny.
Right? But regardless of it, like, you still need the writers to make, because that's the thing is that the thumb, or not the thumbnail, but the pro, I don't know if you still have it as a profile picture, the AI generated drawing that they did of you.
Oh yeah, I still have that.
You still have that, right? Okay. So the big controversy when it comes to that is that AI pulled art from other art to make that happen.
Yeah.
Right? And so what ended up happening is that people were then, or artists were then complaining that because you're using other people's work to make this piece, there's no credit given to them. So
That's
to
true.
me, how is this a defendable argument that AI is okay to be used to write and create shows? And even if they're saying, oh, but we're running scripts through to make sure that the points can connect and everything like that. Again, you said it perfectly yourself. AI is using sources from other places to generate its own thought process. It's not like someone in the background is like writing the script for AI and making original ideas. These AIs aren't creating original ideas. They're pulling from other pieces of work. So how's that okay? Or are producers going to credit everything the AI is using in any format, be it the script or be it how it's shot or whatever it is?
Well, it's the same thing as what was it? I forget which label did it, where they had they were putting out mixtapes by Drake and someone else, and an AI was generating music that was just like them and using their voices from like interviews and everything like that to then make songs.
Yeah.
And they were going, and then they went, that's blatant. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't personally make that music. Now you're putting my name in it and everything else. You can't do that. And then they ended up shutting it down because, there was a lot of copyright and everything else. But you have this AI that does scare people because it's, will this replace my job? And honestly, even in my line of work, I know my boss has told me, well, why aren't you just using the chatbot to do your work? Or why aren't you doing this? Or how exactly can you use the chatbot to make your job easier? And not only that, but also, why would I need to train you on how to do something like that if you can just use a chatbot to do it? But the thing is that when you do stuff like that, I was talking to a buddy of mine that was using the chatbot, and he goes, I was using the chatbot to help me answer questions for school, but I wasn't putting the answer that the chatbot was giving me as my schoolwork. I would then read the chatbot, kind of see what it said, and then go, okay, then go back to my notes and then rewrite what it is that it said, and I would rewrite it in my own words and kind of use what it has said as a base.
It'll MKBHD,
because it does also get things wrong.
MKBHD said it on his podcast Waveform. I think I mentioned in the last issue that people that use chatbots, AI, to generate work and then just copy paste aren't using it effectively. If people use chatbots as tools, right? Like if you place a hammer and a nail together, the hammer's not going to nail the nail down to a board.
No.
You need to have that like that work to be put behind it, right? I don't think AI is bad if you use it as a tool.
Yes.
If you're using it as a way to make sure that it, like, the dots connect on a script, that's fine. We do have to wrap up this segment because we're running out of time, so I'm just going to end it with this. Given the fact that the writer strike is happening now, right? The first writer strike that happened lasted 150 something days, I think is what I mentioned last issue.
Yes.
The last writer strike in the 2007-2008 era was about 120 something days. It was, it was like that. This one, it's been a week so far. Do we think that this writer strike is going to last the 100 days or even 50 days for that matter?
I think that it's going to last the 50 days because I do know that as of today, it would be Sunday that they're meeting again to then talk about it and try to come to a resolution. Based off of the things that they rejected, those are pretty key things. And, I do feel that the producers aren't understanding that, yes, they are, yes, writers are making upwards of $100,000, let's just say on a script. But they're not understanding that 20% of that then goes to management. It then goes to the talent. It then goes to, money is going other places. So they feel like, oh yeah, they're being properly compensated for it. But then not going, oh yeah, but that money then needs to get distributed through all these other avenues.
The writers are seeing that there's a lot of money being invested and being given through these shows. But
they
want they want some of that back because they know that they're being skimped out on a lot of.
But the thing is that also they're seeing that there's no longevity to it. If I put this piece of work out in a lot of other medium, if I'm an actor, because it's my face, I will get residuals or something, or I will keep on getting money for it because it keeps on playing. And I can count on that money when I get older or when I want to retire or if I want to do anything else. In a sense, these writers are kind of working paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And it does, and especially in LA or even in New York or wherever they might be writing from, it's expensive to live. It's expensive for everybody to live nowadays. And the thing is that I don't feel that businesses understand that. They still see it as the bottom line. And they're not seeing it from their point of view.
Yeah. I've also noticed that a lot of shows are coming out really fast. So I was surprised. Like I said, iCarly's coming out in a month or so, right? There's another show that was also announced that's like being pushed out soon. But do you think that the shows that are being released within the next coming months, do you think that they were also affected by the writer strike, even though it just started like 2 weeks ago?
No, I think that anything that is coming out in like the next 6 months has either all been written. It's the same thing with what's it called? What was it saying? House of Dragons, where they were saying that House of Dragons production is stopped, but all the scripts had been turned in. Like all the scripts have been turned in, everything's been approved. They're moving along in the background, but they're not necessarily writing anymore.
We won't see any sort of delay, or I want to say like how things turn out. Maybe until the coming of year, when we see what's coming out for Cobra Kai, because that's supposed to come out in 2024, and so now it's been delayed.
Stopped production.
Yeah,
so that's the difference between the one that happened last time and the one that's happening now. Yeah. Shows are stopping. Yeah. Like they're stopping production in terms of like we're not doing anything.
But the other thing is that it then goes based on scheduling, because that becomes another problem. Because let's just say Zolo happens to do really well. Blue Beetle's coming out. Blue Beetle's already finished. Yeah. Blue Beetle blows up. He becomes a superstar, more than he is already. You know, and then his schedule starts ramping up, where it's like you're getting a movie in January, you're getting a movie in July, you're getting all these different movies, and then they still haven't filmed the ending of Cobra Kai. That could definitely change the way the story is going to be told, just because of his availability.
That's what I'm referring to, is that 2007, 2008, the writer strike that happened then. The biggest example, the face of that one, is Heroes.
Yes.
Heroes was written, it went downhill fast.
Yeah,
Heroes and Castle.
It was really
Heroes, Castle, and Lost.
Yeah.
Were like three of the majors that were like really hit by it.
Heroes really hit a snag. It was during the writer's strike where they had the first season done. I mean, the first season done, obviously, and then the second half of season 2, which, if you watch it, it is pretty consistent. The first, 4 episodes are really good. And then they started bringing in these, Claire had a love interest of a guy that had a power that can fly. And that was going back and forth. And then Peter and Nathan were having the falling out as well, too. And Peter basically was... So from what I've heard, too, Peter, Siler, and the guy that can read minds were... When you saw their character, quote-unquote, die, they were originally for... The original plan was to kill him off.
Yeah.
And then move forward and keep going and stuff like that. But the thing is that the studio was like, oh no, people like these characters. Then the writer strike happened and they're like, well, we got to write them in. So they brought in different writers.
They brought in experienced people. Even people, from what I heard, people that never wrote.
Yeah.
They just brought in
it was just basically they were willing to do it.
They brought the C team.
Well, they got producers that then said their job isn't that hard. I could do their job.
Yeah, I remember.
And then they then brought these producers in, and then they then wrote scripts that were vastly subpar, and it really drove the production, and it drove the shows into the ground.
So this is why I'm saying that this writer strike might not last as long as we think, because a lot of these productions have just stopped. They're not bringing in people. Like in the article that we were reading last week, they were saying like, oh, there's certain contracts and that other production lines basically still have to show up. Actors still have to
they're still contractually obligated until maybe like the end of the year or in the end of next year.
And if they don't, they get replaced. But the writers aren't there. So what are they going to do? Just start writing scripts again?
So
like they did back
I see
then?
what you mean. That this is possibly putting a fire under the productions of a lot of stuff that's on hold, and then maybe they're like, listen, we got to meet terms with them. We got to get these. We
cannot spend a son of the day, because now going back to what Nick was saying, if certain actors, like for example, Solo is his name, Zolo. If he gets popular, he gets booked. They need to film Cobra Kai. They're gonna film Cobra Kai. Now they're gonna say like, oh shoot, like we need to work with this actor. They can't just end season 6, I think everyone, is what it is, or season 5 with a different actor.
Yeah, because everyone knows him as Miguel right now.
Yeah.
But once Blue Beetle comes out, they're gonna know this is Jaime. Yeah. This is Jaime Reyes.
Not only that, I mean, just based off of the trailer,
what's her name?
It looks sick. It looks really great. Are you talking about 11?
No. Oh my God, Cobra Kai. Peyton.
Oh yeah,
she's huge now.
Yeah,
she's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
she's in a lot of stuff. She's getting some horror films.
Peyton List.
Yeah,
is that her name?
Yeah, she's gotten some horror films. She has some more serious work that's coming out.
She's got a couple more series
on Peacock. Yeah, I mean, she's getting some great work. But the thing is that, like I said, Cobra Kai is setting up these kids to have great careers.
There's a point where these guys are not going to look like high schoolers.
No, and she's aging out too.
Yeah.
She is, and that's the thing though.
She's already like 20 something.
Did you see?
She's a child. Damn it.
No, she's already.
I know.
Did you see the video she did with Josh
from
Mythical Kitchen?
I did.
Dude, she does not look like a kid anymore.
No.
She's Wait, like, what does she look like?
How old is she now? She's like over 21, isn't she?
Oh, I think she's in their mid-20s.
I thought she was like 22, 23.
23,
I think she's in her mid-20s now. But regardless of it, dude, the way she presented herself on that interview, she did not look like she would like play off a 17, 18-year-old.
Well, that's the same thing with Billy Bobby Brown. Billy Bobby Brown, she's aging out.
She's 25.
Mid-20s.
Yeah. Huh? She's 25. Yeah, Peyton List.
Oh, and Stranger Things is also stopped production too.
Yeah, because Billy Bobby Brown, she's 19 right now. And if you halt right now, she's gonna be what, 21 by the time that you finish.
Well,
Stranger
they are
Things?
time skipping in the last.
I mean, okay, so I guess it kind of works out,
but still,
I mean,
but
it's
I get you.
But these kids, a lot of these are still, they're still kids. He's 21.
He's 21.
21. Yeah, because that dude looks 21.
Yeah.
Like,
he's got a full beard now.
Hey, that guy's got a full beard. He's 24.
He's 24. Dang.
Yeah, it's that jaw. It's that jawline.
So we do have to wrap up this issue, but
They're all in their 20s.
They're all in their 20s and still in junior, and still in high school. Still senior year.
Yeah, all these kids are getting drunk on set and and then going like, "Oh, mom and dad, oh my god,
Samantha,
she's 20. She's almost 30.
She's almost 30.
Wait, how old is she?
What?
She's 27.
Dang, dude, she looks great.
For 27, dude.
She looks 18.
Yeah,
He's 21.
good for them.
How's the brother? Hold on, little brother. He is. That's not saying. It's not saying how old he is.
He's actually 30.
Because I do think he's like 15. I would expect him to be 15. 14.
Good for them.
Mm-hmm.
We got to wrap up this
he really
issue.
thinned out,
We got to
too.
wrap up
He
this
was
issue,
good.
Nick. Okay? We got to wrap up this issue. But I think we can all agree that we're for the writers. They should be compensated correctly. But I don't think that this writer strike will last as long as the previous ones.
Really quick, we did say that we were going to talk about Fast X real quick. What are your predictions?
Well, we're gonna see it next week, and then we're gonna. That's the next issue, guys. Is that we're gonna review Fast X.
Yeah. It'll be fast, and it's the 10th movie.
I hate you. But anyway, what do you think is going to happen? You think it's going to be good?
It's a fast movie. I'm going in there, no expectations. That's it. Look, what do you want from me? Okay, I still like the Fast franchise. I don't care what people think. I'm going to go in there.
No matter how wrong you may be.
Listen. If Fast 10 sucks, okay? If Fast 10 is my breaking...
If it sucks, you got your family there.
We'll give you a hug.
Imagine if Fast 10 was my breaking point.
That would be fun.
What if Fast 10 brings you back?
See, here's my thing though. If Fast 10 brings me back, that's great. But if
I
Fast 10
can't.
loses you, I would be
brings
very
him back, loses you.
I would be so surprised if it lost you.
Guys, I was just kidding. I was for Fast 9, but I just didn't want to be alongside
No,
Bryan.
okay. So in all
Now that
fairness,
he left, I'm back.
but before, in case you're listening and
I never
everything like
left.
that, I'm calling it right now. Bryan O'Connor dies. He gets murdered by Aquaman.
I don't think so.
By the aquatic man.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think so.
No, because they need a reason to be upset, and
Ludacris dies.
Why kill a character when it's a lot
Ludacris.
easier for me to kill off somebody who already passed away?
Because he had a good wrap up. If they kill him, that's where I lose it. There's no reason. They sent him off. Just let him be.
Because here's the thing: his sister's back.
Yeah.
Why would her sister be back?
I don't know. The
They're
franchise
supposed to be-
makes no sense.
they're supposed
Because
to be
they're
sent off.
family.
But unless it
It
was for
doesn't matter.
vengeance.
She's still alive. She can do whatever she wants. Maybe she's like, you know what? Dom's my brother. I got to go step up for him. That's why she's back.
No, she's back because
No. Someone needs to
she-
take care of the kid.
And then he's
And
talking.
it's Bryan
Then he's
that
talking
stays
to his.
behind.
Then he's talking to
No,
his son
it's
that
Bryan.
his age skipped.
It's Bryan that stays
Okay,
behind to
so
watch
if
the
they
kids.
do kill off Bryan, how would that
Then
make
I
you feel?
quit.
You quit?
That is
That's
my
it?
breaking
You're
point.
done?
That's it. That's your breaking.
That's my
point?
breaking point.
I'm
You
telling
don't
right-
kill
I'm telling
Bryan.
you right now, Bryan
We have the
O'Connor's about to
same
die.
name. He doesn't die.
He's.
If Bryan
Right.
dies, this Bryan dies.
I'm telling you right now. They gotta get an emotional moment.
How do they kill him off? Dude, you know what's stupid about
He's
that?
driving, you see his car blows up.
No, you know what's the stupid thing? They can't bring Paul Walker's brother back.
Why not?
It doesn't make any sense, right? Here's the stupid thing.
Just get a blonde hair guy to get into a car
If
and
they
explode.
kill Bryan O'Connor off screen, right? Like, let's say that they just rebuilt the house. They just rebuilt the house in Fast 9,
Yeah, they
right?
blew it up again.
Okay, so that's my freaking problem.
They blew it up again.
If they all walk out of that house, right?
Bryan's
And
like,
Bryan's
"Let
in
me
there,
grab
but
the
we don't
keys."
see- but we don't see him at all in
Yeah.
the movie, right?
Where's
And then
Bryan?
the house blows up, and he's in it, and that's how he dies.
What-
That's my breaking point.
What about if they're
Dom's-
all barbecuing
Dom's
and then you
like-
see the car pull up and then they're like, "Oh, Bryan's late," and then you see like, "Oh yeah, he brought the Coronas," and then as soon as he comes up, and then the car just explodes. That's it. And then
I'm
they're like,
telling you,
"Oh no!"
If they don't show Bryan O'Connor in any way, and he dies off screen,
Bryan's
that's
all,
my breaking point.
That's my son! That's my boy! In the theater.
And with that, let's wrap wrap up issue 148. Thank you so much for joining us here at Keeping Up with the Nerds. Don't forget to check out our website at keepingupwiththenerds.com. Check out our socials, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel if you have not yet. Subscribe at Keeping Up with the Nerds, and check out our audio platforms at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Podbean. Don't forget to rate the show if you like what you heard, and if you didn't like it, then don't rate it because we don't want those negativities.
I was just waiting to just like cut it right here. I'm all like,
we're done.
it's my boy.
Take it away.
This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 148. My name is Rene.
This is Bryan.
Signing off from Under City Comics. We'll see you all next time.